Welcome back to my antique series. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Mora clocks. I actually have a Mora clock, or a version of a Mora clock, in my living room. Mora clocks get their name from the village in Sweden where they were actually made in the middle of the 1700s and were made all the way through to the early 1900s. And they were often given as wedding presents. The style of the Mora clock has very sinuous lines, and which came from Rococo design, which was much more ornate, but most Mora clocks don't have many carvings on them. They're just plain, and they were mostly made out of pine. The one that I have is actually a French version, or a French copy of an actual Swedish Mora clock. And what would make something a Mora clock is if it has an inscription from the master maker from Mora, Sweden. But I know that because the dealer that I bought mine from in France told me that it was actually the French version. So they got so popular at one point in Sweden that the French started making them as well in a contemporary time period. Another thing about them is that the mechanisms were often made separately from the case. So they have a long clock case, like as you can see with mine, but the guts or the innards of the clock are often made separately, and then a local carpenter would make the case around the mechanism, and then an even different person would paint it. So you can have a Mora clock in many different colors or finishes. They're mostly painted, and so the finish on my Mora clock is actually, it's made to look like a Gustavian finish, which is a lighter finish, and it has many different layers on it, and part of it is picked off, which gives it a patina. A good use for a Mora clock in interior design is when you need something like tall and skinny to balance out in a room. They almost act as a piece of original artwork because the shape is so unique, and they can add a nice scale.